Hello there, this is Cookies, and I have turn 41 of EA Muspelheim as part of Lucid's tournament in round 1, game 42. So we've got some stuff here. We found an enchanted field, and we've got a few battles this turn. So Fomorian attacks Entreya, trying to release the siege. They've got a Numidian sorceress with some gems here. Not much is here. They free the fort. Not important. In Knobville, the Fomorian army rides out a bit and finds one of our armies. So we have a number of Barghats here. We've got a Fomorian druid. We have a large number of unmarked sacreds. And yeah, now this army is nothing crazy. There is a Muspel Jarl here, and we have a fair number of mages here. We've finally moved up some mage support, so we'll see how we do, but the troop quality is a lot worse in this army. Summer Lions are going ham. Alright, let's see how we do against the unmarked. Right now we're keeping this Fomorian King busy. He's very poisoned. But otherwise he has pretty good stats. He has tough skin for increased protection, 21 protection, 56 hit points. And he's tying up all my Draconians. Alright, and we have a route. Alright, we kill a bunch of sacreds in the route. So the tally from this is we don't actually kill this Fomorian King. It's a replay bug. But we do beat back this particular Fomorian army. So we kill the remaining Barghats. We kill about half the unmarked sacreds. We lose 21 and 34 Draconians. I think they route faster in the actual replay. We lose all of our Jotun wolves, unlike that replay. The Summer Lions still go ham and pretty much win the battle. And we have a fair amount of stuff retreat, including a lot of our Muspel daughters. And 2 of them die retreating into enemy territory, which is really actually pretty impressive, considering there's only 1 enemy territory to go in. They could have gone literally anywhere else, and they can't figure out where they want to run. So, and then we've got Silent Cavern. So we go ahead and raid some PD. This is, we go down into this cave here. There was a Fomorian province here, so we go ahead and take it since Vanheim hasn't. Apparently they have hot hollows too, but we're going to go ahead and leave after that. In Green Harbor, we kill some stuff, and in Ungbeloth, we kill some stuff. we find a compass that leads to a translucent tower. So now we gain the ability to recruit wind masters, which is pretty cool. Get some heat, we get some gems, a little bit of gold, some death gems. We patrol out this false prophet, which is apparently... Oh, we got patrolled out by the 21 PD. We did a little bit of PD dumping here to help out these two armies. And then it got popped by this army. So now that we've killed that, we're going to go ahead and move back on to Femoria. Now that we've got some proper mage support, the mages that lived are going to come help out rather than be cowards. And we're going to go ahead and move some stuff into Osence. We have claimed 3 thrones, and we're claiming the 4th one this turn. So this should be the final turn, unless something unless he's got scouting here and he does some crazy magic phase and kills my monolith, which is entirely possible. It's not protected by anything. I don't have an army here. So it's possible. I am building a lab though, but we're going to go ahead and claim the throne. I think Femoria's been feeling pretty out of it since like turn 20. I don't think he's going to do any crazy plays like that to extend the game. And we've also PD dumped it up to 50 just in case. Over here, we're bringing in a bunch of stuff. So we're going to bring in up to 455 troops. Unfortunately, because I made supply items last turn, I can't bring some of the mages I wanted to bring. I wanted to bring probably these 2 mages. Maybe Loki, but probably these 2 for the show battle. But some other stuff can make it. We are bringing this gnome. His job is to cast Howl. So we've got a few, it's going to be some really basic evocation magic and some thugs, but the Howl is here. This is horrendous positioning. I should have put him in maybe like a box of Long Dead. Probably taken one of these boxes of Long Dead, moved it back here, and put him in the middle of it. Sticking mages in lines doesn't really protect him much. But we've got a few Summer Lions. We have a bunch of Muspel Giants. We've got a lot of Long Dead with Spirit Sight. We've got a lot of Summer Lions who also have Spirit Sight and magic attacks. So we'll see what we can do. See if we can beat what Vanheim has to offer. You can see the Dwarven Smiths here, so we know that there's an army here. So it'll converge on Wicker Woods, and we'll have our honorable battle to end the game. So thank you to Vanheim for helping set that up, and hopefully it'll be an entertaining battle next turn. And speaking of next turn, let's go ahead and jump into next turn and see it. Okay, so I pulled up game 42, or turn 42. We've got a magic phase attack in Blue Coast. Looks like some birds. Nifty. Kills a PD. In Wicker Woods, we see that's our show battle. Let's go ahead and see if anything was patrolling in Femoria. So you can see significantly more Sacreds and Summer Lions in this army, more undead. This is a much stronger army than what we had before. On Femoria, in Knobville, we get to run into another block of his unmarked. But we've got more Summer Lions, more Jotuns. Let's see how we do. So we carry that one. We kill 19 unmarked. We kill a Furbolg champion. And we lose 5 Summer Lions, but otherwise we take that fight. Kill that raid. Lose some income, gain some gems. Patrol out another false prophet. You can see we do indeed claim, so we do win the game. The walls are severely damaged in Femoria. We've killed most of the stuff finally. And for the dessert of the game, we've got our show battle in Wickerwoods. So over here, we have a large army of Muspelheim. We have a bunch of Draconians, because I like to HP route my armies. We have a whole bunch of undead. We've got a bunch of Muspel Giants. We've got a couple of little groups of Summer Lions. We've got a few mages. We've got a few Muspel Jarls. There's our little Hellcaster. And then let's take a look at Vanheim's army. So a similar force and formation to what he fought with in the previous battle. Against Femoria, we have the front line of Huskarls. He's brought in some squads of Blackhawks, and I like what he did here. He's got multiple squads to try and jump on different targets and not all route together. And then he's got a bunch of Van Heers, the oblique formation on the right flank. And last time it was on the left flank, so it looks like either it, the way you do it on the screen, if it's just on the bottom, it shows up on the bottom, or maybe it actually keeps track and puts it on the correct flank. I'm not sure what the game does. I think it just does bottom if you put stuff on the bottom. But in terms of the commanders, we see Vanheim came ready to fight. So we've got a whole bunch of Dwarven Smiths with a ton of Earth Gems, a Dwarf Elder with Fire and Earth Gems. And he's got a Kethronic Lion Pelt. A lot of these guys have Reinvigoration Boots. He's got this N1 guy with Reinvigoration and a bunch of Nature. We've got my 3 Muspel Jarl Thugs. And they have air gems for mist form. And then we've got a whole bunch of casters. They have rings of fire to protect themselves from fire. A lot of them have air and glamour gems to do big air and glamour. We have some lifelong protections in here from the little bit of blood hunting he did. We have a bunch of GSS thugs, shock tridents, a lot of GSS thugs, a lot of chainmails of displacement. Which that was made for Femoria, but my sacred units and my units with Spirit Sight, like my Summer Lions and Undead, will all see through this. But it's still really good armor. It's still 19 protection, still gives +6 hit points to elves. So he's got a bunch of these. He's got a Sword of Swiftness with a Pixie Spear Thug. Lots of girdles of might for reinvigoration. Yeah, just a lot of good gear. I really like the way he's done this army and scripted it. And he's put a lot more thought in it than what I did with mine. So let's go ahead and pay attention to his scripting. So we got some Gift of Cat Eyes, summon Earth Power. So some of this, we've got Shroud of Bewilderment, which I believe gives awe. Give me 1 second. All right. Been recording for like 6 hours. We've got a bunch of luck. We've got Gift of True Sight. More luck over here. Thunder Ward. The Van Heers are getting ready to go. We're wasting fatigue on Blackhawks and Huskarls. Additionally, his Blackhawks immediately jumped on my gnome and killed my gnome. So I'm not going to get my howl off. The Mannheim Air Force takes off. Now, unfortunately, I think this would have been more effective on just attack closest, to be honest. Because they probably could have killed all the Husk girls. But if they just jump into the back, they get killed by Van Heers. If they jump later in the back, then all the Mannheim guys, they've already done their buffs, and they're going to be virtually impossible to kill. So, like, this guy's got Righteous Wrath. He's got 22 defense, 19 attack, a GSS that hits for 40 AP. Like, he's not going to care about Draconians. And then the Van Heers come back for them. So what we'll do is we'll watch the front, then we'll watch the back, and I'm going to shut up. Alright, so we'll go ahead and watch this again from the back during the buff cycle. But first, we'll see the gnome. Okay. Just absolutely assassinated. Alright, here we go. Alright. So, how'd we do? We did kill a Dwarven Smith, a Lion Tribe Witch Doctor. We killed 7 of the bit, I guess like the Van thugs or mages. I was trying to think of a way to differentiate them from the Dwarven Smith and Witch Doctor. Um, I guess we killed 7 elf mages. We also killed 93 of the Van Heers, so he's down to about 30 Van Heers. And I think this was all of his remaining Van Heers, just about, except whatever he's produced in the last turn or two. We lose our gnome, 3 lizard shamans, a jarl, a Muspel jarl, so he killed one of my thugs, killed a Muspel Gija. The Draconians did very little. Longda Giants did very little, but that's not really their role. The Muspel Giants, though, killed 62, lost 46. That's pretty bad for them. They should always strive to have at least probably a 2 or 3 to 1 KD. And then the Summer Lions lost 25 of them, killed 11. The Van Heers just really murdered shit. So they were killing about 5 to 2, which makes for a terrible trade in my army. And then his thugs were killing about 10 to 1, which is also really bad for my army. So I took 2 times as many casualties for a pretty amount of similar high quality stuff. We had about half as many sacreds, but our sacreds are 2 holy points, so that should be thought of as the same amount of sacreds. We brought fewer mages, so we got outdone in the mage department. We only brought 3 army thugs. He brought significantly more. He also brought a lot more gems, so just did a better job rallying a big commitment, outscripting us, and kicking our butt. So, well played to Harum, who was playing the Vanheim. It was a lot of fun playing the game with you and chatting with you. Hope you have a nice drink at some point. Celebrate the win. And, but yeah, this was a really good battle. I enjoyed it. I'm glad we got to use our stuff for a fun battle. And then, we also picked up the W. So we can go ahead and view the history here. We can see how people did during expansion. I think I can pause this. Okay. All right, so I think this is turn 12, early spring year 1. So we can kind of see how expansion went. We can see the push that Sadist did into us. We're still struggling with some of the tough indies. Vanheim had really good expansion. Machaka had pretty good expansion. We can see it looks like Femoria expanded pretty well, but their Dominion's struggling. All right. And I'll go ahead and let it play through year 2. All right, so we have early spring of year 2. We can see the raiding that's going on. We've got Machaka fighting up here into Fomoria's cap circle. We've got a Fomoria raid into Machaka's cap circle. So a lot of fighting here. I'm a little surprised that Fomoria raided into Satis like it did. Or maybe they weren't expecting to get attacked by Machaka. I do think it's fighting the elves is bad for Machaka, but fighting the giants with their Machaka and Sacreds can often be a good matchup. I don't think Machaka took a heavy enough bless to do that, though. So I think if anyone needed to sit and research, it was probably Machaca to get up to the like flaming arrows and venom arrows and get a critical mass of pygmies. Um, but I couldn't really see the fighting that was happening over there. But I think they won a couple of fives in research to really like use their strat. But yeah, you can see we've got Satis surrounded at this point. We're trying to close out that war. And then Vanheim's super solid, sitting here scaling. We take Satis, start marching through Femoria. All right, so we have early spring of year 3, and I've over pretty much all of Femoria over that preceding year, and I'm somewhat into old Machacan lands. Femoria has taken the remaining Machaca forts, already launched his attack in taking a fort off of Vanheim, also took a fight off of Vanheim. And so Vanheim's working on their counterplay, but I'm already moving to win. And that's game. All right. So, well played to everyone. Yeah, I really liked Fomoria's cap defense, um, where they kicked my ass. I thought that was really fun. I liked the show battle with Vanheim. I loved Machaca's feistiness, retaking all this land. And they were down, but they never gave up, which I really liked. Um, and then, yeah, I just went around the donut. So diplomacy happened to work out for me in this particular game. There were disagreements in diplomacy between the other 3 players. There probably was a moment where I should have been coalition. I don't know about just sitting on Satis being enough. And if I really think what needed to happen was they needed to come to some sort of peace agreement, if possible, and then Femoria needed to attack me. And then maybe these 2 could have fought. I think when we first started fighting Femoria still had pretty decent land. They were along here. And they might have been along here. I probably would have had an advantage, but I think those diplomatic relations, you have to kind of try and work on them maybe for a few turns and try to really convince someone. But it didn't seem like they were seeing eye to eye with Vanheim. So I'm not sure how that would have worked. I don't know. I definitely don't believe it was over turn 20, but it was definitely over, or it was getting out of hand probably turn 30. That's probably when I should have been coalitioned. But I think what you do is you try to defend yourself rather than spending all your force trying to destroy Machaca and Vanheim. I don't know, it's tough. Especially when you think the game's already over and you're just mad at other players. It's pretty understandable. I've seen it a lot in Dominions, so not gonna hold it against them. But I'm just trying to think what I would do in that situation because it is tough. You're a 1 cap fighting a 2 cap. You want the other 1 cap to help you. And this 1 cap, it's going to be hard to piece them out without probably giving them back some stuff. Like you probably have to give them back a couple of forts. and then give them something else to do. That's a common part of peace agreements that I try to do. I try to help the other person visualize like a different path they can take. Like maybe Machaca could go take over the underground or something. But yeah, it's tough. I think Machaca's a natural ally for me after I take Satis. So maybe not sure. Because when they still have this amount of stuff, they're still an advantage over me. So they could have both jumped on Machaca, killed Machaca, and then jumped on me. And they'd probably win that. But I think for that, Vanheim would have had to jump on Machaca a little bit faster or take over the caves a little bit faster. But he was definitely trying to get his research in. And I had some pretty good tools. I don't know. It would have been definitely would have been a more dangerous game for me at that point. But having the Fomorian army charge off into Machaca and then Vanheim definitely made it really easy. So, I don't know. It's understandable. The Femoria player felt like I pretty much had it won on turn 20-ish when he couldn't get Vanheim to declare on me as well. Felt like it was hopeless, so went ahead and used his army for fights that he felt like weren't hopeless. I definitely understand that. So, have I probably done it a couple of times? I don't know. But yeah, so, but I mean, there was some good that came out of it. We got a really entertaining fight between Femoria and Vanheim, and we got a really fun show battle. So, I don't know. Overall, I had a lot of fun this game. It was fun to win a game for a change. And I'm looking forward to the second round. It should be, uh, from what I've seen from the people winning so far in the first round, it should be extremely competitive. Uh, the Hatched had a really cool flagellant build from the M.A. Marignon. Really big Hellbless on that. Had a really cool strategy where he templed the underground and then sent parties out of there to expand even faster. Um, War PC had a build where he did like a turn 41 Gift of Nature's Bounty. That was really cool. I've never seen research up to a 9 by turn 40. Even in LA, I think that's pretty fast. Um, and what were some of the other builds? We saw a lot of Sacred Bruce Bears. So Bruce has been very strong, spamming out bears and sacreds with big blesses and running people over with that. And I'm excited to see, and we've only seen like 5 or 6 so far. So I'm really excited to see, what the other 80 or so players came up with that ended up winning their first round games. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, Big shout outs to Vanderbricks on Femoria. I believe Gozer on Citus. I'm trying to remember the Machaca player's name. I think Blaster? Joe Blaster? Let me go find him. Because I really enjoyed all these players, even if we didn't always agree. Yeah, Joe Blaster on Machaca, showing a lot of fightiness, and Harum on Vanheim. We had a lot of great conversations. Looking forward to playing with him in the future. Should be a lot of fun. So I hope everyone had fun. Is it Gozer or Dozer? Gozer on Citus. I hope Gozer gives multiplayer another chance. Um, it was his first multiplayer game. I'm not sure if a tournament setting is great for someone on their first game. People are especially merciless. Might be good for him to play maybe like a new player game where maybe he doesn't get rushed down as hard. Um, or maybe like a Disciples game. I hope he gives it another chance. Um, Felt pretty bad rushing him down like that. But yeah, I hope everyone had fun. I've been enjoying a lot of the games and I've been enjoying the tournament. So good luck, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.